Welcome to the Confessions of a Restaurateur podcast, where we talk about London's hospitality scene.
Join us as we explore the highs and the lows of being a business operator in one of the busiest cities in the world.
Trying out new ventures and exploring the business of food. I'm Omar Shah.
And I'm Florence May, and welcome to this week's episode.
Hi guys, so welcome back to our podcast. And it's episode 2.
It's episode 2.
And I just want to apologize about the last podcast. All right, the sound was terrible. We've invested in some new mics. Hopefully you like how we sound and it won't hurt you whilst you listen to it in the car or at home or whatever. So let us know if you like it, if you like the improvements. In the meanwhile, we're going to raise our topic, which is UBE. UBE ice cream, UBE the vegetable, UBE. Where did it come from? All right. It seems like everywhere you turn on your socials, you look at your phone, it's everywhere. It's one of these popping flavors which has been trending for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And we want to just discuss about how it's impacted the food scene, particularly the dessert scene in London. And obviously that's going to be hand in hand about how Mamasons was contributed to that. Okay?
So what is UBE, Omar?
UBE is a purple sweet potato. All right? It's found, it's
also indigenous to the Philippines.
Yeah, it's found in the Philippines and it's used in a lot of desserts and savory dishes in some regions, but predominantly desserts. All right? 2017 was a big year for us when we opened up Mamasons ice cream. You want to talk a bit about that and why we decided to go for Filipino ice cream?
Yeah, I think in 2017, there wasn't really a lot of variety for Asian desserts in general, but in particular, Filipino desserts. And we've discussed this many times. And with the evolution and concept design from Mamasons, it started as an Asian dessert parlor, but we obviously, both of us being Filipino, we really wanted it to be more true to what we served in the Philippines. Yeah,
the food scene around 5 years ago, there weren't many options.
No.
Specifically as well for Asian ice cream.
Yeah. Or
Asian dessert parlors. I think the whole kind of vibe kind of kicked off around then anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember back then we had Yokin. Mm-hmm. All right, you took me down to Yokin. We queued up. It used to be a pop-up. And it was that macaroon ice cream sandwich and it just blew up.
Yeah.
It was all over socials and had a massive following.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's closed down recently, right?
Yeah, I think they've gone into something different, but they were definitely
one of the pioneers.
The 8 brands for desserts in general.
Yeah, so that kind of, I mean, we was already involved in the restaurant business back then, but coming up with the concept of having a complementary brand for the restaurants, we were playing with a few ideas.
Yeah.
There was the whole chili bang bang. What's that ice cream thing called?
Like the Thai ice cream.
The Thai ice cream where you got
now it's known as pan ice.
Pan ice. One of the brands pan ice, but it's the rolled ice cream flavors, right?
So it's like a frozen pancake roll ice cream.
I remember looking at that. I think, is that gonna pop? Is that gonna trend? I remember I just put myself in a position of doing that all day, every day.
It's very labor intensive.
Very labor intensive. And I think because of that was just a quick cross. Nah, we're not doing that. I remember thinking, I had a great ice cream experience in Thailand. Mm-hmm. I remember in the road, this guy just stopped in his trike. He had these coconuts and he was selling coconut ice cream and I ordered one and he cracked a coconut open, poured out a bit of the juice for me to take a shot of and scraped out the flesh as a topping and pushed it to the side. Then put some sticky rice in there. Then put some coconut ice cream, which he made from the other half of the flesh and the reserved water. Crushed peanuts. It blew my mind. Mm-hmm. I remember coming back and saying, listen, there's nothing like, this is it.
I remember you coming back and saying the word for word line that you just said right now.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the concept we need to push. We need to push, Thai ice cream, Filipino ice cream. We need a mixture. We need a pan Asian ice cream parlor. Mm-hmm. All right. And it's just so happened we got the spot next to Bintang.
Yeah.
All right. And you thought, you know what? It's complementary to Bintang. let's do it. All right. We got the property, we opened it up, and the more we ventured in, and
the more flavors we made, I think the more we are thinking about, do we just want to maybe do something that's a little bit more niche and personal to us, which is Filipino
whatever
desserts.
happens, UBE was always going to be.
Yeah, it was in the menu for sure.
Yeah.
But we definitely had like a massive range when we were first brainstorming.
I mean, we kind of fell in love with the whole concept of just stripping it down to Filipino ice cream. And that's where UBE was a big part of.
It was the star. We made it the main star.
And
in Filipino dessert, UBE, like anything, is the star.
Yeah. It was a bigger risk. It was a bigger risk to take. I mean, I remember when we were consulting with different ice cream purveyors and equipment manufacturers, and they were asking us what flavors are we doing? Are we doing strawberry? Are we doing vanilla? Are we doing chocolate? And we said, no, we're not doing any of the best sellers. We're basically, we're not doing any of those flavors.
No, we definitely didn't want to do anything traditional. I mean, traditional to the UK, which was those strawberry chocolate vanillas.
But they thought we were crazy. I think I mentioned it before, but they thought we were completely insane.
I think I remember one man telling us like we were going to like suffer or like be unsuccessful because we didn't serve strawberry because that was his favorite flavor.
So you're nuts for starting a business, an ice cream business in London, let alone an ice cream business in London. In
that's exactly what he said.
Cold, windy London, whatever. But the fact that people are going to come in and they're going to turn away. And I said, you know what? We don't care. Let's do this. Let's push it.
I think that was a big motivator for us as well to like prove that not only would an ice cream business succeed in London, despite the weather, but also that a Filipino ice cream parlor would work.
Yeah. But that said, a big part of the success of Mamasons was definitely having UBE.
100%.
Yeah. So obviously you tie that in with the trend of social media and, you know, all these foodies and food bloggers and wannabe food bloggers and, you know, everyone's aspiring to get the content. And that's what it was. We created, maybe accidentally, but we had it in mind, but we created a product that content creators within the food realm wanted to capture. It was like, I describe content creators as like food hunters. They're always looking for the new thing, you know, and it is one of these things where, UBE just attracted them to come down. They wanted to get that photo. They wanted to be the first ones to post it or engage with their audience. And it allowed us to build our audience faster by having that product there. It's look at a scoop of UBE and it's just, where is that purple flavor? Where's that purple look coming from?
Think also
there's nothing like that.
Yeah, in terms of like the aspect of social media, I think that was definitely something after like a few months of we opened. I think when we initially opened, we genuinely had to work really hard to be able to sell what UBE was to someone who, if they weren't Filipino, so that they would give it a go. And I think that was a big part of like the creation of Mamasons, where would my non-Filipino friends want to try this? And why would they want to try it? So we needed to make it very similar to something that they're used to. So something like, you know, describing it as a ice cream filled sandwich, which is the bilog, our signature dessert in Mamasons.
So the packaging of the ice cream.
Yeah. So it wasn't just like, hey, come in and try the sweet potato purple ice cream. We definitely, you know, created like those signature dishes and able to push it, to promote it.
A good vehicle for the ice cream. Yeah. I think as well, people's attitudes to dining, they were becoming a lot more experimental.
They wanted new dessert. They wanted to try something.
Well. Yeah. So, I mean, apart obviously the content creators or the content hunters, I like to say, then you have, I think back then,
foodies,
the most probably experimental. Oh my God. Have you tried matcha? It was the thing to do. It was the thing to eat. Matcha was the flavor of the block. I mean, you go to
it was definitely the it flavor 5 years ago.
Matcha, everything. And matcha is still a great versatile ingredient that's used in dessert parlors. Big up to Sujuri. They have amazing desserts. Yeah. There are neighbors in Chinatown, by the way. Someone who I aspired just to replicate their success. man, they were amazing. I was a big fan. I am a big fan of Sajuri's. Great dishes. And they've opened up in Camden as well. So I'm happy about that. But that said, Matcha was the one. Sajuri was at the forefront of the dessert scene with Matcha.
They definitely
and they kind of
had that unlocked.
That you think about Matcha and you think about Sajuri in London, boom.
It's the only thing I think about.
Yeah. So, but obviously you got the teas, you know, great tea products. There's a lot of supermarket products using Matcha.
Yeah.
All right. You can find it anywhere and everywhere. It's not just, you know, these niche.
It's more common now. It's more mainstream and that's where accessible.
Yeah. So where we you know, we want to talk about later on of, you know, UBE, is that where it's going to be going? Or do people think that UBE is that bubble? Is it a trend that's going to pop? I think not. I think it's a flavor that's here to stay. It's a big part of our culture. We've been using it for hundreds of years. If not thousands. I'm sorry, I don't know my food history. I should have done my research. Mark, what was that? 100,000? Yeah. Credit goes to Mark. He says about a couple 100 years. Thank you for that. All right. So yeah, I think that's the future of UBE. I think it's going to be, if you look where Matcha has gone. Yeah. You know, now they're using it in, I saw a recent, Bailey's style drink, like a ube cream liqueur. That's won the Taste Awards. Apparently it's delicious.
Sounds delicious.
All right. There was, we're looking to develop some ube chocolates, you know, so we're hoping that we could, that's some inside info there. I don't know if I should say.
I don't know. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But anyway, we're looking to develop some more products using ube. But yeah, it's exciting. It was exciting. And so to go back to how people reacted to it back then, we used to have people just come in and come out. And we thought, oh, you know what? These guys were right. You know, people coming in and coming out. It kind of hurt you because you just open up a new business. You want to do well.
Oh, like the people that didn't want to try it.
They didn't want to try it. They come in and they see a beautiful ice cream parlor and they will look up and they think, okay, where's a strawberry, mate? You got strawberry? No, we don't. Okay. You got vanilla? No, sorry. We're a Filipino ice cream. Chocolate. You got any chocolate? We got Milo. Mate, listen, by that time, we've lost them. They've walked out. But we managed to kind of create a cool script. Yeah. To kind of pull people together and get them engaged.
And that's what I'm talking about. I think, you know, in the beginning, when we first opened, it wasn't like paint the walls, get it all ready, open up, and then boom, like we were like having the queues or anything like that. I think if we hadn't planned for that or like tested it out like in the neighborhood at the time,
we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. Yeah. And listen, I'll be honest with you guys. When you start a business, like in particular, a very risky business like a Filipino ice cream parlor in London, world's first, by the way. Yeah, world's first.
Claiming it right now.
Shit, right, prove me wrong. Yeah, that's a huge bloody risk, man. That's a huge risk, and thank God it's kind of turned out. Now you getting the local rude boys coming in. Yeah, the local man them saying, yo, bruv, hook me up 2 scoops of ube. Like it's nothing. This is just nonchalant. It's like vanilla, you know, get me a couple scoops of chocolate. They're saying ube like it's nothing. We don't have to explain it anymore, which is the craziest thing. Back then we needed to create a script. We needed to get them engaged. We needed to talk about the story. When people come, and ask for ube, it's like, yeah, sure. It's just some people ask about it, but we didn't have to dig as deep to get them to buy in to that flavor.
But you know what's so crazy is, I think with like Chinatown, that is definitely the case where it's like very. I feel like sometimes it's as common as a Starbucks Frappuccino when you come in and go,
but the target market you get in Chinatown,
they're looking for that already. But like if you look at, for example, Westfield, it kind of reminds me of that time of us opening where we had to explain it. We had to kind of do the show and tell, give the tasters, give that background story, because it's not something that in that area was like a big interest.
That's very true.
You know, so I do feel like,
as much as London is this hot pot,
they're aware, but a lot of people,
cultures.
I find 5 years of us doing this, still don't know about us, still don't know about UBE. They might have heard of it, or like they know it as, that purple ice cream. I've seen that somewhere, or something like that.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's more like in Camden, because of all the restaurants next to it. Everybody kind of knows what we do and what we sell. And in Chinatown, like you said, like everybody in there, in that vicinity, they know about like the food that is popping, or what's trendy, or what's the best thing to have in that area. But to me, the most shocking thing was I was expecting our Westfield opening to go through the roof, our Chinatown opening was mad. That's something I'll never forget, like queues around the block from the door to the gate, people queuing up like 4 hours in advance. And then opening Westfield, we had a queue. It was a queue.
Well, I think what Chinatown was the big shop that everyone, we started building up hype back then.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it was a lot more easier to compete in that realm of food.
Yeah.
And then,
no, I think genuinely it's harder.
No, back then it was easier. Now,
now it's harder.
There's a version of everything. Listen, there's the trend apparently this year is no trend. If you're looking to create a food product that's supposed to pop an Insta, it ain't gonna happen, man. So people aren't that. People are more jaded to novelty food,
and I think
no one gives a shit anymore.
And I think what a lot of people don't look into is food places that have maybe closed down because they were just following a trend, like Matcha or like UBE, and they've opened up a whole business based on like this one trendy ingredient, but they don't know how to kind of turn that into something that people will want to go to time and time again. Like I know, I won't say those businesses, but some of those businesses open near us, in Chinatown, and they serve similar products, similar flavors, and they're just not there anymore. So I think as well, as easy it is to jump on a trend, it's also so hard to keep up with it and then maintain it so that you don't get forgotten when the new trend comes along.
Well, yeah. So I think what helps us what's going to help us with our longevity is the fact that these are our cultural products.
Yeah.
And it's how we pivot a flavor. We didn't build Mamasons around UBE.
No.
It is our signature flavor, and we sell shit ton. How much do we sell of that stuff?
We sell a ton a month or something like that.
No, more. Listen, we haven't. Listen, we should know.
We sell about
figure it out.
Okay, so they sell.
No, we did figure this out. Let's not.
They sell 56 liters of UBE on a weekday.
Yeah.
In Westfield.
Yeah. So
I can only imagine that's double in Chinatown,
anyway,
if not triple.
We sell a mother load of UBE.
We sell a lot,
but we haven't built. It sounds like we have, but we haven't built our business around this one flavor. We got Hala Hala.
Hey, listen.
Hala Hala. We have
Black Buko is giving UBE a run for its money. I'm telling you that now.
Yeah.
That black coconut ice cream,
that's interesting. Black ice cream was a trend.
Yeah.
All right. But we
got crap for that, actually.
Yeah.
We got crap for following this trend. But what a lot of people didn't know is that to make activated charcoal, you actually had to toast the husks of the coconut, and that's how you grind it up, and that's how you make activated charcoal, which is kind of what they did in Philippines. And then when we used to explain that to every customer, they used to kind of go, "Oh my God, so you guys roast your coconuts, shave it?" And you know what? We had to do that in our first year just so we could say that we did that. But eventually we found someone that actually did it, grind it up. But I'm telling you now, do not make your own activated charcoal, because boy, you'll be doing that for days.
Yeah. So, we managed to kind of extend our product portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
If I would compare this to, and that gives us the longevity and the variety for, returning customers to come back and try other stuff.
Yeah.
So for Mamasons, I think I feel Mamasons was probably the biggest contributor. And I'm going to say it, man. Mamasons was the biggest contributor.
Do it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
To UBE. And to UBE's awareness and the fact that it's now become almost, in London anyway, a normal, visible ingredient or a dish in most dessert parlors. All right. I saw UBE, some classic, homegrown, generational Italian gelato joints. All right. selling, what's that Italian ice cream with the little chopped chips and stracciatella. All right. Fucked that up, didn't I? All right. Selling UBE, man. They're selling UBE right next to Strata. You know what I'm talking about, right? That's nuts to me. That's nuts. Yeah. And like, listen, Mamasons was a big part of it. And,
absolutely. Anybody that doesn't recognize that, come on, you know that it was a big part of why. Like I tell you know what? It was really nice because a member of staff said to me the other day, and they're on the older side, so they're about like 22, and they said, "Oh, I'd say, you know what? It's so nice to be able to have UBE every day," and you know, my younger siblings, they don't understand how lucky they are that they could have that every day now.
Right? I'm getting goosebumps.
Isn't that the nicest thing?
Yeah, that's crazy. Thank you. Strata. Can you just say it?
Stratakella.
Thank you.
My goodness.
Anyway, yeah, that gives me...
Are you in the ice cream business or what?
Listen, I'm in the... I don't eat that. That's not my flavor.
I love that flavor.
That's not... But yeah, it's a nice flavor. But
anyway, but like... Yeah, so like...
I don't say that word enough for me to be proficient at it.
Okay, let's take it back to UBE. We're not doing the Stratakella.
Jeez.
But right. Yeah, so it's just so nice.
Yeah, back to your point. I'm getting goosebumps, all right?
Love that.
All right. The fact that my childhood and my traditions and, you know, my memories with UBE is closely connected to my culture. All right. Me being second generation Filipino, you know, some people will describe me as a coconut. All right. As much as I love my culture, I need to know.
And that's why I'm here, guys, because I'm full brown outside honestly, and full brown inside.
I learn as much as I can, but I'm a Londoner through and through, first and foremost. That's how I feel, all right? Filipino, I'm mixed race, Bangladeshi, Filipino. and
Wait, clear that up. It sounds like you said you're mixed race, Bangladeshi and Filipino.
I am.
What?
I'm mixed race, Bangladeshi, Filipino.
No, okay.
Born in London.
No, he's half Bangladeshi and half Filipino.
All right. Born in London, but my close connection, I didn't get the opportunity to travel to the Philippines that much when I was younger. I did, you know, a few times, but I was always proud to go to Barrow Fiesta, an annual festival, Filipino festival in Hounslow, central London, to go buy, and the only once a year as a kid to buy UBE ice cream.
Yeah.
I used to go back to my school and tell my friends about it, and they didn't know what the hell I was talking about. And it's just one of these things that when I ever had the opportunity for my non-Filipino friends to try, man, I was head over heels for, you know, getting to try it. You know?
Yeah.
And it blew their mind and they loved it. And we get to do that. We get to do that and impact people's taste and cultures right now. And
every day.
And now their traditions and their childhood memories. And now we're part of that. And that for us is like, wow.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, that's great. You know, so yeah, I'm going to cry now. Interlude.
No, but I genuinely do think that Mamasons has evolved so much in the last 5 years. It started from a passion project / you know, new venture for you, getting into the dessert business as well, and me starting business in general. But then slowly turning into a cultural kind of pit stop for Filipinos in the UK or even in Europe. Just the other day, I had a really good friend of mine, while I was doing an interview in Chinatown. I bumped into him after like 2 years, and I said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And he goes, "Oh, you know, I'm just here because I was craving Jollibee and of course Mamasons." And that I've heard that so much throughout like the last few years, especially when Jollibee opened up so close to us.
We're part of the London food tourism rotation.
Yeah, we're a pit stop, man.
No, that's cool, you know.
And I think like
we should make a map. Somebody should make a map and for food tourists.
Yeah.
Someone do it. We should do it.
We should do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
But yeah, and now where we are now is, you know, we started that like that little concept in Camden, and then our Chinatown concept being a bit more bigger and more for like a reason for people to try it. And now I think, yo man, we're lucky to have UBE every day. I genuinely do feel that, and
I don't have UBE every day.
I don't have UBE every day anymore.
She has UBE every day.
I have UBE maybe. I have UBE maybe every other
guys,
day.
UBE is delicious. I don't recommend having it every day.
I know.
Have it every day. Come to Mamasons every day, please. Every day. It's great for you.
Yeah.
High in vitamins and nutrients and fiber.
Guys.
No, like, can we have a disclaimer that whatever I say, I'm not an expert, but it's delicious and you can have it every day. But you shouldn't really.
No.
All right.
But what I was saying is for our future of Mamasons.
The future of Mamasons
is the most exciting thing for me right now.
No, it's cool. Like, to go back to UBE and then talk about our business and having that as one of the factors of our success and being able to kind of nurture the brand, not only nurture the brand of Mamasons, but nurture the brand of UBE, its flavor, its exposure, bringing up awareness, educating people. That's helped us as a business as well.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You know, the fact that and I think we're speak for both of us, we're proud to contribute to impacting culture in London with this ingredient. And hopefully many more, man. We're going to talk about other flavors and other delicious ingredients that comes from the Philippines.
Disclaimer, my favorite flavor is Milo. Oh, I'm kidding.
You messed that one up, mate. No,
Why?
I'm kidding. No, Milo.
I love all our flavors. That's still a Filipino flavor.
Yeah, well, it's a Philippines, Singapore.
It's only because I ate ube for 2 years straight, so now I'm on the Milo wave.
Yeah. You can have only so much ube, but you can have it every day for 2 years straight. And then you got to decide if it's for you. But anyway, the future, like I said,
let's talk about the future.
Like I said,
first.
which we shouldn't have said, is that we're dabbling with other products and seeing if we could extend that product portfolio. We've tried a few great dishes, which I'm excited about, and we want to push forward, like the chocolate. Okay, so I recall when we decided to do Filipino, that point in time, okay, let's do ube, let's practice it, let's make it. And this was like 2-3 weeks before we were opening Mamasons. And we couldn't find ube anywhere. Like that purple potato is freaking, it's like it's like Bigfoot. It's like Loch Ness Monster. You can't find it anywhere. You could go to some like Chinese supermarkets and get the frozen kind, right?
Yeah.
But even back then, it was very difficult to find because we were.
No, like the frozen stuff is very common.
Now.
No, even. No.
And that's why we asked your mom to bring some down.
True.
No, I remember this very clearly. We went around to all the supermarkets. We couldn't find frozen. We couldn't find fresh ube. We couldn't get any frozen stuff. There was some weird powder version of it.
One that you had to reconstitute.
Yeah.
And like whisk like crazy.
Like instant ube mash or something like that. But yeah.
That was an interesting product, by the way.
We asked your mom to come and bring some down. Yes. And I thought she was going to bring a couple pieces of ube.
Yeah.
She managed to smuggle in a whole suitcase. Like
60 kilos.
Mate, a proper suitcase
60 kilos of ube.
And she came and goes, Omar, take this upstairs. And I remember lifting it up like step by step, trying to take it up the stairs. It was heavy.
They were massive.
And she just unzipped it, pulled it open.
Also, I think that's the first time.
It was like that scene from Pulp Fiction when they open up the suitcase and
I've seen Pulp Fiction.
You seen it?
I've seen it.
When Samuel Jackson and John Travolta open up the suitcase at the end.
Yeah.
And then what was in the suitcase?
I can't remember, but I've seen it.
Trick question. No one knows what's in it. See, anyway, let's move
I've seen Pulp Fiction. Anyway, that's not the issue. Also,
and I remember your mom.
Oh, he just tried to get me on camera. Okay.
I remember we making ice cream with your brother, and I bought it from John Lewis, a small little tub, a little ice cream churner.
Yes.
Like a dual-lit.
Even though we had our real, like, Catabriga FA, we just
wasn't wired in. No,
I'm just saying, batches. We had to still do that.
We had this 23 grand, but back then it's still a lot of money now, but yeah, it wasn't wired in, and I bought a little 80-pound ice cream churner. And I thought, let's make some ube ice cream. So we just boiled the potato.
I think that was actually the first time I saw ube in real life.
Like, and this was some organic, wild, like,
it wasn't like
potent
or
ube, because I remember after a few days, roots were growing out of the suitcase. I'm like, shit, we better deal with this.
Yeah.
So we took it, made it, and
I remember my mom being like, Omar, you need to cook this now. Yeah. And you kept on being like, yeah.
I was a bit intimidated. It was intimidating. Yeah, it was intimidating looking at it. But I remember we made it with your brother. And we tasted it.
We were so excited as well.
Yeah, we were super excited. We tasted it. And me and Moya looked at each other like, damn, this tastes like shit. This tastes like shit. Fuck. We're opening up in 2 weeks. What do we do? And like, yeah. And then we realized there was a bigger process we needed to do to create make a halaya.
Yeah.
All right. Halaya is like an ube jam.
An ube jam, correct.
Yeah. Would you like to explain that more?
Yeah, I think if you cook and eat ube in its raw form, it has like a flavor profile of a potato, like a sweet potato. It has like a sticky texture as well. So like in order for you to really get that sweetness out of the ube, you have to boil it for a long time, wait for it to chill.
The gluten needs to come out.
Yeah. So you can see that vibrant purple. And after that, like you boil it with sugar again for a long time, and then you make halaya. And there's so many different ways to make halaya, which is like an ube jam. So you either cook it up with sugar and milk or something along those lines. But when you do that and you cook it up with those with milk or sugar, the taste is
the flavors
amazing.
Change completely.
So different.
And it becomes reminiscent of what you're used to. Mm-hmm. You boil an ube and you taste it. It tastes like
potato.
It tastes like a potato. At least I would have thought it tasted like a sweet potato, but it don't even taste like a sweet. It's not even as sweet as a sweet potato.
It's very earthy.
Mate, I would make chips out of it.
Yeah,
and I didn't realize like every time I've tried ube, it's always been dessert based. So I always thought it was naturally sweet, but it isn't naturally sweet.
It kind of tastes like a little
sweet,
like a sweeter cassava. That's kind of what it tastes like, a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's used in some recipes as a savory dish. I've never tried any Filipino savory dishes that have ube. So if anyone's out there, is anyone who likes to cook with ube, in particular savory dishes, bring it down, please. I would love to try it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think that was definitely interesting. But I think we've definitely explored so many ways to insert that ube flavor in all of our dishes, you know, like not just Mamasons, but even in Panadera, for example. You know, we made that ube French toast.
So is it fair to say we are the masters of ube now?
Oh, I think that's a very big claim.
You call yourself the ube queen.
That's an internal Maginhawa joke.
So she's the self-proclaimed ube queen.
Within the organization.
She's managed to...
Why are you putting me out like this?
No, she's managed to kind of like tame the beast, which is ube, that wild beast that large roots grow out of, and it's just some knobbly, niggly, herbal, purple sweet potato. And she's made other products. She's just increased and stretched the product range to now it's in Panadera.
Yeah, I think after working with it for so long, I know where it's going to be best used. I know, how to kind of merge it with something else like that's a bit more Western. Like I know right now, you let a little slip out there, but we're developing our ube chocolate. And any person that actually
it better happen now.
Is a chocolatier will tell us like that shit is hard, man. So it's like a lot of compromise of how do we do that and not just make it like a purple chocolate bar and things like that. So it is very versatile when you know how to use its star qualities and pair it with like what it's great with, So
Panadera, we have the last special. Panadera's, by the way, is our Filipino bakery. We used a special with Hong Kong French toast for Chinese New Year.
Yes. No, but our first special was the ube French toast.
Ube French toast, and then we had the ube pancakes.
Yes, and then we had the ube tart.
The ube tart.
And then by that time, I just needed a little break from ube because there was like...
I remember one birthday. This was before I met you, mate. I had a birthday cake. It was an ube boobie.
Oh, I remember that. I was there. I hope you get that cake.
Yeah, that was a nice cake.
Yeah. But so we definitely experiment with the flavor a lot. And it's great. Like why wouldn't it be great? That's why it's everywhere in Philippines in every dessert.
Like anyone who's wondering what it tastes like, it has like earthy vanilla notes.
It just smells really fragrant as well.
Yeah, nutty, earthy vanilla. So question, how do you see it kind of evolving in other industries? within the food scene?
I think that a lot more people that are in the dessert business will start to adapt it to whatever they're doing, like matcha. So you've had a lot of companies that might look at matcha and see if they can put a twist on it and add matcha to them. Like one thing in particular that comes to mind is like, I love Little Moons, the mochis. I do.
I love Little Moons.
We love Little Moons.
I hate the fact that I didn't think of it.
Same. Like, damn.
I wish we made Little Moons is amazing.
Yeah, so we love Little Moons. And like, you know what?
Non-stop. Anyway.
10 of those. So I saw the other day, which blew my mind, was there was Little Moons, because, we shop for that, for home. And they had Ben & Jerry's cookie dough stuffed in it. And I was like, damn. And Little Moons, like mochi is a very Asian traditional dessert as well. And Little Moons have done such an amazing job of like having a good quality mochi still, but putting familiar flavors of like what people are used to and what they enjoy. And I think for Ube...
But they experiment as well with like a traditional Asian flavors like red.
They do. They did
Matcha.
But what I'm trying to say, like someone like Little Moons who do like mochi, but for more a Western palate. I see the Western dessert parlors maybe catering towards the Asian flavors as well, because it's like a trendy, it's a trending thing right now.
That ties into Asian pop culture. Mm-hmm. And now it's basically Asian pop culture and general. By
the way, Little Moons, if you want to collab.
It's mass pop culture now. It's mass pop culture. I mean, is that the right term?
I think with the rise of like K-pop and anime and those interests.
It's now part of everyone's like a child growing up in this generation. This part of their childhood is part of their culture. It's not, it's not particularly, it derives from Asian culture, but people are embracing it as their own now.
I think they also want to get more, involved in it. There's so many things. There's so many
It's very
festivals.
similar to Indian culture in the 90s and 80s. Now became like even like the best. It was awarded at one point. Fact check this, please, Mark. Like British dish of the most like well-known British dish was a masala curry or something like that. Yeah. So the way the UK embraces other cultures and makes it their own. We're seeing that a lot more, kind of. Particularly where we are in London, central London.
And that's honestly what
bubble tea, for example.
Yeah.
Like that's just a given. It's just like, as much as we say, want a cup of tea.
I remember loads of people trying bubble tea maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah, almost choking themselves.
They weren't up for it at all.
They'll be choking, like a bubble tea getting spit out their nose or something. They don't know how to handle it, and now their esophagus has evolved to kind of like consume like a double serving of tapioca in their drink. Yeah,
and with Ube, I remember when we were talking about opening up in Chinatown for Mamasons. And I remember us talking about, wouldn't it be amazing if Ube one day became just as popular as Matcha? And that was one of our biggest goals.
That was, yeah.
And that was 5 years now. And I think now...
We're giving Matcha a run for their money, mate. I'm sorry. But I think, wait, it's close. It's close.
No, I think where we wanted Ube to be is definitely where it is today. And we weren't far off. We weren't far off in terms of kind of predicting that one day Ube would be as synonymous as Matcha. I wouldn't say it tops it just yet. I would say it's very close.
I would say that. I'm sorry. I think it tops it.
Oh, you do?
The amount of freaking Ube we sell, you gotta see it to believe it, guys. You gotta see it and like listen.
No, but I mean like in terms of like how many other businesses, except like, dessert parlors, incorporate the ingredient is what I'm talking about.
Matcha versatility across the kind of food scene. I see what you mean. No, you have a point.
Sit back down, Matcha.
You have a point.
You're still number one, and we respect it.
Listen, that just gives us time to grow, okay, and time to kind of push and elevate that ingredient.
No, it's inspiring to see their journey, like that product, and seeing how we can kind of follow suit.
But you guys can see the pride we have with UBE. And fun fact, actually, I released a clothing line 10 years ago, and it was actually called UBE London. And I had the little tags and my logo was an UBE. So it was a fashion brand. For some stupid reason, I thought people will buy it because it's a purple potato. I don't know. That's how much I thought this is such a special thing to me.
Fun fact, we have now a Mamasons collective merch brand.
Yeah, that's really good, actually.
And we sell UBE hoodies. So it's coming to a full-on circle. So don't worry. That prediction is still there.
It's still there.
It's reimagined, but it's still there.
Yeah.
So, I think we're onto something here.
Yeah. The future is bright. The future is purple. The future is UBE. Damn, that was good. But anyway, listen, guys, let us know what you think. All right. So is this a trend? Is this here to stay?
Is it gonna fall off?
Is it going to fall? No. And we're going to do everything.
That was just a rhetorical question.
Yeah, we're going to do everything we can to make sure this is not a trend. This isn't a bubble. And we don't think it is. It's part of our heritage and culture. And we're going to fly the purple flag for as long as possible.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning into our podcast episode. If there's anything that you want us to talk about, Maginhawa related, London trend related, let us know. Leave it in the comments.
Business related, guys. Listen, we realize at this point the reason why we're doing this. We want to engage with you guys. We want to make sure that we can reach out and help where we can. I'm not saying we're in a position of being super specialist experts in this, but we've done all right to a certain extent, and we want to share maybe some of our stories, some of our lessons with you. So if there's anything specifically you want us to talk about, please let us know in the comments, and hopefully we could add value to any decisions you're making in the future. Thank you very much. We out. Peace.